WCBI News at 10 starts now.
The number of coronavirus cases here in Mississippi has nearly doubled in just one day. Thank you for joining us tonight. There are now 6 presumptive positive cases being reported, and the state of Alabama declares a statewide emergency following its second known case. This means all students in schools K through 12 will stay home beginning March 19th. Right now, schools will close for 2.5 weeks. One Alabama case is confirmed from Montgomery County, the latest from Jefferson County. Here in Mississippi, 3 cases are from Forest County and 1 each in LaFleur, Copiah, and Pearl River counties. Doctors with Mississippi's Department of Health confirmed the latest cases. With a national emergency declared because of the coronavirus, hospitals are stepping up their message to the public. There are 4 main points. The first, don't panic. Take precautions just as you would with the flu. However, there's no need to go stock up on water or paper towels or toilet paper or food. Use good hygiene, wash your hands a lot, and use a good alcohol-based sanitizer. Stay home if you're sick and do not expose other people to your sickness, whether it be the coronavirus, flu, or strep throat. Now, if you feel sick and have a viable reason to believe you have been exposed to COVID-19, call your medical provider. That medical provider will give you instructions on how to be tested. You're encouraged to not show up and sit in a waiting room at a doctor's office or emergency room and possibly contaminate others. The test will be sent to the health department to make an official determination. Medical experts say the main reason events are being canceled is to prevent the spread of the virus over a large number of people.
The social distancing, that's basically to keep the virus from spreading, and that's to keep hospitals like ours from getting overwhelmed by having large amounts of numbers of people coming in, and then hospitals have trouble keeping people in isolation, because that's the big thing that we have to do, is isolate people.
A few other tips includes avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands, and clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces using a regular household cleaning spray or wipe. Tupelo Public School District students will get an extra week off for spring break. The school board made the vote during an emergency meeting this morning. It comes one day after Tupelo Mayor Jason Shelton asked the students to delay the start until next Wednesday amid concerns over the coronavirus. Board President Sherry Davis says the decision to close schools next week was made after consulting with many experts.
We also have many students and staff who have traveled both in and out of the country over spring break. However, local medical experts in Tupelo have recommended closing school for 1 week in an abundance of caution to keep everyone in our community safe.
Columbus Municipal School District is the latest to extend its spring break for students. All classes and extracurricular activities and practices are canceled for next week. Employees will report on Monday to begin developing a plan on how things will operate going forward. The district will serve breakfast from 7 to 9 a.m. and lunch from 11 to 1 p.m. at all schools. In Lowndes County, students are also getting an extra couple of days off. Superintendent Sam Allison says classes are canceled for Monday and Tuesday. While out on spring break, Allison says some students traveled out of the country and to states where cases have been reported. District leaders will spend the next few days gathering information and discussing ways to keep everyone safe and clear from any potential sickness.
So hopefully Monday we'll come up with, hey, this is our plan moving forward. And it may be as simple as just looking at the Center for Disease Control and their website, you know. But I felt like coming off spring break, we needed 2 days to make the best decisions for our students. It was not so much of a scare because we don't have the cases here, but we know that that could happen and start spreading very quickly. And I wanted us to be as proactive as we could.
And for a complete list of plans being made by area school districts, just visit our website at WCBI.com. If your school is not on that list, that means it has not contacted WCBI or made any official changes. The Northern District Public Service Commissioner is asking the FCC to help students and workers who are impacted by the coronavirus. With the switch to online courses, as many colleges close their campus, and the possibility of more employees working from home, Brandon Presley is making a 3-pronged request to the commission.
Number one, to eliminate data caps, to stop that as a part of the process for right now, to stop overage fees. So if a customer has to use their phone more than normally they would have to use it because of the stresses that are put on the system by the coronavirus, that they be waived. And thirdly, to stop throttling. So we know that many carriers throttle back the speed of internet service once a customer meets a certain threshold. Those three things need to be eliminated and need to be eliminated today.
Now, AT&T has agreed to waive data caps for home internet customers. However, that does not apply to mobile data caps. Comcast is increasing speeds of its internet service and allowing for 60 days of free service for those who qualify.
All right, we've had some showers, some clouds around here, cooler temperatures today, only in the 60s for many of us this afternoon, even a few 50s too. Some showers continue across North Mississippi, fairly light, but extensive cloud cover remains. Currently 55 degrees in downtown Tupelo. That's our Alpha Insurance camera network, and we can see that we do have 50s in the north and also in the south right now, so fairly uniform. We may drop a few more degrees here, but it looks like temperatures will be fairly stable. Here's our first alert forecast for your Saturday. We love Zeus. What a cute pup right there. Getting ready for a warm Saturday. A bit gloomy to start, maybe a shower. By the afternoon, well into the mid to upper 70s and even a shot at some low 80s again, much like yesterday. I'm back with the full 7-day coming up.
Thanks so much, Keith. College towns could soon feel the pinch of having students stay at home. Our Stephanie Poole speaks with some businesses in Starkville to find out how they're preparing for an uncertain future.
We don't really know yet. We want to remain optimistic that although campus is closed, you do have a lot of students who live in this general area who still have access to their apartments, and we're hoping will remain in Starkville.
Barton Dinkins owns Two Brothers Smoked Meats, a restaurant in the Cotton District. He says there's usually a lot of foot traffic from students, but with majority of them possibly returning home, sales could suffer.
The local economy, while it might slow some, hopefully we can get everybody safe and good quickly and, keep business rolling.
For Dinkins, a loss of students can also mean a loss of staff.
We've told them, if you feel safer at home, please stay at home. If you need to come back and work, you can.
And it's the same reality for Coffee House 929.
I wouldn't say on a skeleton crew here, but we are definitely minimizing the number of staff that we have at one time. My staff actually just reached out to all of them, those that are students, and even want more time off. And some of them requested more time off, which was great, which is going to help me level out the playing field a little bit in the schedule.
Sheridan says 2/3 of her workers are students.
As a small business, it becomes increasingly difficult, as time goes on, based on trying to gauge if a pop is going to happen or if we'll have an influx of customers one day and not have enough inventory.
Mayor Lynn Spruill is encouraging citizens to support their local businesses.
Food and beverage and sales tax is critical to our economy and to our city as we go forward and do the things that we need to do to meet our obligations. So it's going to be painful. Hopefully it will end sooner than later.
For now, owners and residents are just taking it one day at a time.
I'm going to eat out at least every day. I'm going to patronize as many of our restaurants as I can. Obviously going to shop local where necessary. And, we just need to be prudent. We need to stay calm. We need to go about our lives as normally as possible.
That was our Stephanie Poole reporting there. Mayor Spruill says with the possibility of a loss in sales revenue, the city will continue to monitor its budget and make adjustments if necessary. Well, there's some good news in Starkville today. Cadence Bank will soon have a new home base. Bank executives, Starkville Mayor Lynn Spruill, and the Greater Starkville Development Partnership broke ground at the future home of the bank's new main branch on Russell Street. Executive Vice President Jerry Toney says he's thrilled about this latest addition.
We're really excited about today, the opportunity to build a nice new modern facility on Russell Street this close to campus to continue to serve our clients.
Cadence Bank has 98 locations in 6 states throughout the Southeast and more than $17 billion in assets. Now turning our attention over to weather. Keith, Warm weather is in store tomorrow, huh?
We have some milder weather coming on back. I have a couple of yard chores I need to tackle, at least as we get into the afternoon. Hard for me to even talk about this tonight because I know the chores ahead. But during the afternoon, we should have a fairly dry day, 77 degrees. Some of you warmer than that, actually. We'll talk about it in your full forecast next.
Accuweather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Temperatures across our region today vary from the 50s and low 60s right now. Earlier today, we had highs in the 60s. Yesterday, we were in the 70s and 80s, but we're going to swing back into the 70s and 80s. Tomorrow, look at this. We will be quickly warming. A bit of a dismal start to our Saturday, but by the afternoon, we should have temperatures in many spots in the mid to upper 70s, if not some low 80s. Warmest in the south, a little bit cooler across the northern tier. So there's that. Some warmer weather on the way. A bit unsettled this weekend. Some rains possible tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and the Sunday morning. Next week, unsettled. Temperatures will be warming up again by the end of next week. So we have a little bit of a temperature roller coaster going on. We have this battleground zone right here between high and low pressure. Disturbances will continue to move in our general direction, but a lot of those will be deflected to our north, and we'll have a shot at some rain. So we don't really think there's going to be any major system here, at least through Thursday. By the end of next week on Friday, there could be a little bit more potential for some strong to severe storms locally. But considering this is mid-March, we are dodging a lot of the active weather, at least for the next 6 days. So we'll keep you updated on that. Temperatures, again, 70s to low 80s across the southern reaches of the area. Up to the north in Tupelo, maybe mid-70s here. Winds from the southeast at 5 to 15. Don't be discouraged if you see a lot of cloud cover, maybe a shower in the morning. We should see a few breaks during the course of the afternoon, and that will allow temperatures to moderate as southerly winds develop. And look at these warmer temperatures across the I-20 corridor. Jackson, Meridian 80, 81, Montgomery 83. So not too bad here as we get into your Saturday. And there will be a little bit more sun farther south. Around here, could be a bit gloomy to start out at least. This is our Alpha Insurance Camera Network. Columbus, Tupelo, Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy, Louisville, Mississippi. We are now falling into the 50s. We've had some wet weather out there today. There's actually a snowstorm going on up there across the high plains, Nebraska, South Dakota, and some ice in Kansas. This front is going to come back north as a warm front, and that will allow us to quickly get back into those warmer temperatures tomorrow. The rain should be a little bit more concentrated to our north. If you're going to Memphis tomorrow on Saturday, it could be a bit wet up there. As we get into tomorrow night, the front comes back in, so showers possible Sunday morning. And then we mentioned earlier, there could be a few more of these disturbances as we get into early next week, too. So we will just keep a chance of rain going each and every day here. Better odds on certain days, lower odds on others. Like tomorrow, I don't really think we're going to have a lot of rain. And that times out well for Saturday.
Keith, earlier this week I asked you to fix that weather machine.
It's
looks like
broken.
it worked because we're getting some nice weather tomorrow, though.
Yeah, well, it's still on the fritz because every day is saying there's going to be some sort of rain. But we are trending in the right way.
All right, we'll take that. Thank you so much, Keith. Wall Street was still in business today, but that doesn't mean some people haven't been sick. We take a look at a roller coaster week when we come back. After a rough week, the stock market ended on a positive note, but millions of Americans are starting to feel the pinch of lost work hours, declining sales, and slumping consumer confidence. CBS's Gio Schlesinger takes a closer look.
The market rebounded, but it may take more than the president declaring a national emergency to calm nerves. Stocks were down nearly 10% on the week as investors remain on guard. The reason is we just don't have a handle on the shape of the economy. New unemployment claims were down from a week ago, but they're expected to jump when fresh numbers come out next week. Hardest hit, the airline industry, where layoffs are likely due to the unprecedented fall-off in demand. Hotel occupancy in tourist-rich San Francisco is off by as much as 60% this month, but it's millions of workers in the service industry, like waiters and hotel staff, that could be hit the hardest. Recent losses on Wall Street could spread fear into the larger economy.
There is a very tight link between what's happening in the markets and what happens in the economy. People look at their 401k statements. They spend less, they save more, and there's less demand in the economy.
Attendance may have been limited, but Mississippi and Alabama are still facing off on the hardwood this evening. Highlights from the All-Star game coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
It's the situation that has gone from by the day to by the hour. After all the postponements and cancellations from Thursday, even more changes have been made today. Starting with the NCAA and the SEC. The SEC has pushed its potential starting date from March 30th to April 15th. That means teams will not be able to practice or compete in-game until at least that date. Along with the impact to the SEC for baseball and softball, the Big 12 has already announced the cancellation of spring athletics, which might just be the writing on the wall of what's to come for the Southeastern Conference. Ole Miss has announced the Grove Bowl for football, and the festivities around the spring football game have been postponed. Mississippi State has not made an official announcement on the future of the spring game. However, MSU Athletics Director John Cohen releasing this statement tonight saying, "Our highest priority is to ensure the safety and well-being of our student athletes, coaches, staff, and community. This is much bigger than athletics, and we will support the difficult but necessary decision the SEC announced today." He continued on to say, "We thank the entire Bulldog family for their understanding and patience during these unprecedented times." You might be asking, what's the silver lining, if there even is any right now? While the future of NCAA spring athletics remains very uncertain, the NCAA Council Coordination Committee has agreed to grant spring sport athletes an extra year of eligibility. What remains to be determined is the future for winter sport athlete eligibility, as well as logistics in terms of scholarships and roster spots for spring athletics. The NJCAA following suit with the NCAA, moving its hopeful starting date from March 30th to April 3rd. In a statement, the NJCAA saying that if spring athletics are to cancel their season prior to the proposed start date, athletes will not lose a year of eligibility, similar to the NCAA. Northeast head baseball coach Richie Hurlson says the reality of putting the season on hold hasn't even fully set in.
When I woke up, or when they told us yesterday, it really hasn't set in on me. I'm still hoping that we're going to get to finish our season. But, you know, it's very numb. I mean, it's just like a part of you, you know, when you end the year, you end the season, it's just like, it's like going to a funeral sometimes. And I don't want to compare that to life, but, I mean, it's a big part of these guys' lives. And, you know, we just want to make the best decision we can for them. But, yeah, I mean, it hurts inside.
You might be wondering, what does all of this mean for high school sports? The MHSAA has been meeting to come to a final decision on where to go next. However, for now, nobody is ready to throw in the towel. At least a couple of high school baseball teams still going strong. New Hope baseball on the road in Alabama taking on Hunter's Lane. That team out of Nashville. Check out the Trojans. They were dominant, not enough. Trojans with the 31-0 shutout win. Also in action, Heritage Academy taking on Harrison Central in D'Iberville. The Patriots able to get the job done in just 5 innings, 14-4. In the run-ruled contest, Heritage gets back to it against George County on Saturday. The Mississippi-Alabama All-Star Game, girls facing off first. First quarter, Bracayla Gray driving to the rim. Malia Grayson grabs the rebound and the putback. Mississippi up 2-0. Few possessions later for the SIP, Robin Lee out on the wing. Bottoms, Mississippi up 11-5. Under 5 minutes to go in the first, Jacoria Bracey taking it herself, the layup off the glass. However, Alabama coming away with the win in this one. They get it done 70-63 against Mississippi. Running it back with the boys, Mississippi versus Alabama in this All-Star Classic. Early in the first, Elijah Martin with the rebound out in transition, pops up for the mid-range jumper. Mississippi takes a 4-3 lead. Next possession, Alabama. It's Colby Jones with the kick out, can't get it to go. Jones finishes himself. Alabama up 6-4. 13 to go. Mississippi trailing. Kylan Blackman on the run to Jalen Rice to get the job done. Alabama up 19-10. Both teams putting up an NBA-like score. Alabama takes the win 118-97.
Got to tell you, Rob, after the news about the coronavirus, it's just refreshing seeing some sports. Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. For me, too, being able to put highlights up there at all is just the cherry on top of everything that's been going on.
As we say, you got to love it.
You do. It's the little things.
I know, right? Thank you so much, Rob. We'll have a last look at your forecast when we come back.
We start to warm back up. We are in the 70s. Some of you could get to 80. Cooler Sunday, a chance for some showers. Then next week, a daily chance for showers and storms, but warming up temperatures there. Quentin, you love that.
I'm loving the
Where
warm
did this
temperatures.
heat come from? I'm not complaining, but where did it come from?
I'll tell you. Earlier this week, I told Keith to fix the weather machine.
And he did it.
He sprayed some WD-40.
Keith, look at you.
It's working a little bit. Still
Look
wet
at you
though.
go.
Keith is the real MVP, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good